today to answer the question that everyone's had burning into their minds all week. Is it offset? So I have the two aficionados.
Experts, obviously.
Experts, pros of offset guitars to answer that question for you and have the great offset debate of 2023. I have Dan and I have Juliet here. And may the battle commence. Let's begin. Dan, all right. What's an offset?
Well, an offset was something that Fender came up with in the 1950s, where the idea was to push the top of the guitar forward a little bit, just to make it more balanced when it's sitting on your knee a little bit. Also, it puts your hand in a natural playing position, so when you go to play, it's kind of everything's right there. It's weird because I'm looking at myself and I'm headless. Anyway.
That's honestly like the dream.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so offset guitars have been produced since the mid 50s. Like the Duosonic and the Music Master were the first two to get released. They were student models. Fender set them up for kids. They wanted to make them a little bit more balanced, and they kind of took it into the Jazz Master, and away we go.
Before we go too much further, Juliet, counterpoint, do you have any...
Counterpoint.
Do you think that it's anything different than that? If you're going to define an offset, what's an offset?
No. I think that he is absolutely on point. I think the thing that... Okay. An offset, to me, is the shape and shape alone. It does not have to do with all of the pickups and the switches and the knobs and the scale length and all of this. But he is absolutely right. As soon as we offset this little pinched waist into like offset territory.
I feel like the term offset is completely wrapped around Fender.
I messed up, guys.
What?
Just go from the top again.
Are we live?
Now we're live, yeah.
Oh, hey. We're live now.
Welcome.
We're live to some people, but not live to others.
Hey,
Welcome.
Technical difficulties. That's how you know it's live.
Hey.
But we're live again. So I'll tip my
folks,
hat again because that was like a really cool part. I know Matt liked that when I did. Hey, welcome.
Wait, how am
to another
I?
episode of Chuck
What do you
Levin's
need?
Live. If you caught the middle of that, we are answering the burning question that has been on everyone's minds all week. Is it offset? What is an offset? Why are we here? Are they awesome? Yes is the answer to that question.
Are they awesome?
What are they? What is offset? What is not? We got all kinds of cool gear that we're going to go into, but we'll take it from the top again. So, this one?
This one.
Boom.
Look
Dan,
at that dead eye.
started from the top. What is an offset to you, Dan?
Well, for those of you who didn't hear me the first time, an offset is a guitar that Fender made, a body style for a guitar that was produced in mid 1950s to the present, where the top of the guitar is kind of pushed forward a little bit. The two reasons they did that was to make it a little bit more balanced when it's sitting on your knee, for jazz players and student guitarists. Also, it puts your hand in a natural position when you're getting ready to play. So, your hand's not back here or up here. It's right where it normally would be while you're holding the guitar. Fender used the word offset in a lot of their marketing materials. So when the catalogs came out, you'll see the word offset is in quotations, and it's usually off-dash set. Nowadays, everybody just puts it together, smashes it. It's a new word. So I feel like that the whole term offset and the whole business about it is intertwined with Fender. It's hard to untangle that, for me anyway, but what do you think, Juliet?
Well, yeah, counterpoint. Juliet, what is an offset to you?
Okay. I think that Dan is on to something. Whether he's right or not is a whole other story. But, yeah, I think it's the shape to me. It is having a shape where this pinched waist is now kind of on a tilt. I think Dan actually had the exact angle, right? That it has to be in order to be.
Some people say that Leo Fender at one point said it would, in order for it to be offset, it had to be a 10-degree offset.
Yeah, 10-degree.
No
difference.
more, no less.
Yeah, 10
Or
degree.
10 or more.
10 or more.
10
Yeah,
or more.
10 or more.
All right.
But I think to me, it is the shape and shape alone. It's oftentimes pretty horned again to keep the balance better. But I love offsets that kind of get a little bit weird with all of like the pickups and like the switches and stuff.
So I feel like Dan, I feel like you have feelings about what's going to go on in the guts of one of these offsets to make it a true offset, one that you would certify as an offset. And I think we need to go further into this explanation so that people will know why you are going to say that some of these things behind us are not offsets.
I could potentially say that.
He could. I don't know.
I could.
I have no clue what the answers to these questions will be today.
I'll preface
So
the whole conversation though with, for me,
Let's give him a taste. Yeah.
for me, an offset is the whole package, and there are two quintessential offsets and I think the best-selling ones are going to be your Jazzmasters and Jaguars.
Yeah.
Also Mustangs, which we don't have here, but the what they call the trem system in a Jazzmaster and a Jaguar is almost identical. That to me, and the bridge, the way that the strings respond when you play, the way that there's kind of some sympathetic noises happening back here, that it's part of the package for me. Like just when I think of an offset, I think of a Jazzmaster, and I think it's going to be hard for me to change my mind on that. But maybe you can change my mind.
I'm not here to change anybody's mind.
well, before we go into like the rest, let's hear what we have in front of us. We have two sweet examples to set the palette before we go into some other brands of potential offsetedness. So let's hear it a little bit.
Should we go over some of the features?
Yeah, let's go
real quick
through.
so you
Yeah.
can see
what we got.
You're going to hear. So on this guitar and the Jaguar, you're going to see some circuitry here. There's actually a rhythm circuit and there's a lead circuit. There's a switch right here, and when you flip the switch up towards the player, it would turn the rhythm circuit on. The rhythm circuit's controlled by these rollers right here. They're a little hard to see with the color of the pickguard, but this controls your volume and your tone right here. The idea was that the player could easily have presets for rhythm and lead and switch really quickly by flipping a switch. So that was kind of the reason that was set up that way. You also have a pickup selector down here, which is not active when this is selected. So this would be only on the lead circuit. Then let's see, you have your volume and your tone, and then you have your trem system here. So this is a floating trem, which means that you can go up and down. It's not actually, Fender uses the term tremolo, but it's not really tremolo. It's more vibrato. And they use the term vibrato for the tremolo on the amps, which I guess we have one over here.
That's another stream.
Yeah, that's a whole another
That's
story.
another one.
Who like terms that are incorrect in
Yeah.
the industry. Yeah.
So this is a Jazzmaster. You can kind of hear what you get. Let's turn the rhythm circuit on here. So
Like on a beach. This is lovely, Dan.
so the woolly sound to me. I mean, a lot of players don't enjoy that I guess muddy of a sound, but it can fit in, especially if you're playing with somebody that's playing a Jaguar. Obviously like the high end is going to be a lot more there for that guitar. So the lead circuit, you can hear like quite a difference there.
Yeah, it's brighter.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some bite.
Yeah, there it is.
And that's the
gonna
bridge
sparkle.
pickup. Let's go ahead and do the neck pickup.
Can you like maybe tell us some artists who are associated with like this sound, old
So-
and new?
So famous Jazzmaster players, you got like Elvis Costello.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
I mean, you have Jay Mascis from Dinosaur Jr. You have Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth.
Nels Klein,
Nels
right?
Klein, Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
If you can find a player that hasn't tried a Jazzmaster before, it would be kind of difficult to name that guitarist. Like Jimi Hendrix played them. I don't know. Just name a player, and they probably played one on stage at some point in their lives.
I did think it was interesting that when Chris Stapleton kind of exploded, right? He's in a whole other world. He plays kind of like folk and like rock music, I would argue.
Yeah.
Country rock, yeah.
Yeah,
A little
yeah.
bit twangy, yeah.
Yeah, but he's now kind of like exposed all of, like those artists and maybe like the fans to this other sound too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's something that can just add a whole new tool to, like, if you're a player, and you want a different sound. You're used to the Strat, you're used to the Tele or the
Yeah.
Les Paul, any of the Gibson models. Like this is something different. This will get you a different sound.
Yeah.
And you could, quite frankly, if you can mod these things pretty extensively too. There's like aftermarket parts for all this stuff. I could name like 1,000 mods you could do, but I mean, people make them personalized
Yeah.
to their playing style and like what they're doing.
So what makes a Jaguar different?
Okay. A few things. I might ask you a bit. So I'm also here to learn. But, okay. Things that I know. The scale length is shorter.
Yes.
Okay. Which means that at the same pitch, it's going to have a different string like tension. It's going to feel a bit maybe like slinkier.
24-inch
good.
scale, 25 and a half.
Okay, cool. So like this is more akin to a like Les Paul-ish. And that's more like the like
Strat.
Strat Telly.
it's-
Yeah. Also, if you can see down here, we have a few extra little like switcheroonies.
Yeah, little switchy doos.
Okay, it has up top here. It has like the same, like circuit, but down here, Dan was telling me instead of a switch to do each like pickup, I can now turn each of them off and on with these
Independently.
things, right?
Kind of like dip switches.
Yes. Yeah.
Different configurations and such.
And the third one is a treble bleed.
It's a high pass.
It's
filter.
a high pass
So
filter.
they
Look
they
at
also
that.
call it a choke sometimes, but
Okay.
it's that's also on the base 6 as well.
Ah, the elusive base 6.
Yes.
Okay. Other things that we have on here. These are a similar thing in that they're still a single coil, right? These two, but they're obviously not the same as the like Jazz Master. They're a bit more akin to a Strat pickup in that they're kind of tall instead of like wide and flat, which means that you get like a different sound.
And notice the claws around them.
Yeah.
That was there to try to reduce the 60 cycle hum off the guitar. But
Why?
it's one of those things that Jaguar players argue that they need it or they don't. But it's there.
That's for you to decide.
It to me it looks cool.
It does. There's a lot of chrome. This absolutely looks like a car from like the 60s to me,
Yeah,
right? It's
absolutely.
got all of like the chromes. It like almost I don't know cars, man, but like a fin. I don't but it like has that vibe, It's like a 60s car mixed with the age of space exploration. I don't know.
That's awesome.
That's the vibe.
It is now.
It is
Yeah.
now. Let's hear it. Let's hear what a Jaguar
hear it.
sounds like,
Okay.
and then we're really gonna get into
Let's
it. Then I think it's in dispute. These are obviously two offsets here, but then we're
Well-
gonna get into it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Let's get it.
Okay.
Is this amp working properly? Why am I so low?
Dan turned you down probably.
Let me turn you up.
Uh-oh.
Sorry guys. Just hang tight
Yeah, just hang tight.
and like struggle to hear, really, like listen intensely.
It's gonna click in and it's gonna blast my face off. I know.
No.
That's why we brought you here.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm wearing my
Wait,
protective.
hang on.
My protective headgear.
Ready?
Oh, it's gonna blast.
Nope, no. I'm gonna turn it down.
There
Got
you
it.
go.
Okay,
There
look.
you go.
See, I am a Tele player with a single switch. All these knobs and switches, man. You have to be on
You
it.
were just talking about it.
I know. Okay, so now this is both. It's kind of like a plinky, but it's nice. It's very
Plinky.
chimey.
Very plinky.
Let's do only the neck. Maybe we can get in. It's still pretty warm. Let's go with the bridge. Right? Am I doing it correct?
Yeah.
Let's do them both. And let's get into some funk.
That was nice. That was real nice. So far we're in agreement.
right.
Offsets.
Offsets.
All right,
So
cool.
wait,
Let's-
does the Jazz Master win, or does the Jag win?
Well,
Win the battle of the offset?
there's one more important piece of information here.
Tell
the
me.
pickups themselves.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between Jazzmaster pickups and Jaguar pickups.
Continue.
So these, if you were to take them apart, they're wafer thin. They're very, very thin, and they're wound really wide. So the magnetic field is wider around the strings, and which gives it a slightly different sound. It's actually, when you hear them and you A/B test these pickups with maybe a Jaguar or a Strat, you're going to hear like something a lot different, a little bit more articulate, and I would say like the bridge pickup gets a little bit more high end, I would say. But then the rhythm circuit is really like kind of more mellow and smooth, and but for the Jaguar, you're gonna get ice picks in your ears. Basically.
Yeah, we have the
And
tone knob
it's
turned
made for.
down
Yeah,
pretty.
Flickies, sparkly,
yeah, twang.
twangy.
And then on the Jaguar, which is something that that a feature that it has, is the mute.
I was just
Mute.
gonna ask.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, talk to me.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So
is
what
a
it is
mute.
when you push it down, it mutes the strings. It's like a palm mute
Yeah, it can be,
without
yeah.
having to palm mute. So
Yeah, who has to like learn how to like
Right.
do something when your instrument can do it for you?
Now, does that mean that the Jaguar can chug?
Ooh.
does it shred?
We can
That's a whole
find
nother
out.
episode.
I do have
Does
a,
it
like,
shred?
rat on the board.
Yeah.
So look, if we like have no mute.
There you go.
I would play like a funk on that, but I don't know. You could probably chug away. I don't know.
Switch.
See, it's definitely interesting. I think you could do some cool like rhythmic work with that too. But yeah.
That's cool. Just Swiss Army knife guitars.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And like I said, people mod them all kinds of ways. People put humbuckers in them. People, will put lipstick pickups in Jaguars in some cases. But
And also, I'm sorry, like to tie back to this mute, I think that was a thing that like Leo thought that people played more often than they played, because he was still of the mind of like people that played like upright bass, and so even all of his early like bass models had a mute, which like people would just kind of like toss away, right?
Right.
So they're not a like relic of an era, but
it never caught on.
it never caught on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is like authentic to have it on there.
I believe that came originally on the Bass 6 as well.
Oh, really?
believe
That's
so.
yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. Well, I think we take this before we answer the question, which was more offset than the other. I think we have to further explore the category to better understand what is and is not offset.
Okay.
So let's take it to the next level here and bring in
So
some
wait,
other brands.
Maybe between the two of these.
Which is more
which
offset?
Is more offset.
Which is more? Hold on.
Oh,
Is this
out
like
of
a
the quintessential offset? Which one?
qualifier,
No.
or is this just an angle thing?
See, well, I don't.
What?
As the layman,
Adam.
I don't quite understand. I don't think I have a full scope of what an offset is. We have to keep going.
Okay. Deal.
We have to. I can't answer this yet. Let's keep going. What's next?
Yeah, Dan.
What's
what are you
next
gonna
to take us on the
switch
journey
to?
of offsetedness or not?
I think we have some that are going to come up on the screen, and let's keep in mind that when Fender used the term offset, that the idea was that the angle was kind of swept forward, right?
10% at
Mm-hmm.
least. I remember very
when,
specifically.
When you see the waist of the guitar, like on a Strat and a Tele, it's straight across. You could draw a straight line from point to point, and there's your waist for the guitar. Now, an offset is going to be on an angle like this, between like the most narrow
like
point. in the waist.
hourglass figure
So
is a little.
as we look at
wonky.
these pictures, let's say whether or not we think it's an offset.
Okay.
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 All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Let's
in.
go to the screen.
I also have
Offset
to play
or not
through this.
offset? Based on just that criteria alone.
So, I mean, it's offset, because it is, but it's not 10 degrees. So by the
How
very
do you
specific,
know?
I
Are you
know
measuring?
math.
This is
I have
this
eyes, and I
is
can
where
tell.
okay.
That is definitely not 10 degrees, and so therefore I discern not offset.
I'm with you. I don't think that's an
Juliet,
offset.
well, but it's offset. It's not offset.
Yeah,
Right? 'Cause
I want to
there's
measure.
offset,
It's pretty
there's offset.
shallow.
Well,
What?
off dash set.
Well, Fender started off with offset. That's not an offset. It's just offset.
Yeah, it true.
The emphasis matters.
Right, but that is not
You
an
should
offset
speak like-
or offset.
Yeah, like Mandarin. It
All right.
looks quite
What is that?
shallow. It looks
I
quite
forget
shallow.
actually.
All right.
I can't remember.
Next.
I guess
All
it's a no.
It's a no.
It's a
I
Juliet would
mean-
have said yes, but two
No,
beats
I
one.
think I would like
Sorry,
to
Juliet.
measure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Next.
Next.
Okay, that is. I had to throw that one in there.
There's-
Okay. There's no waist
There's no
to
waist.
speak of. There's no
Is it an
waist to
offset?
speak of. I'm gonna vote no.
It's onset. It's the opposite.
I'm gonna vote. Yeah, it's
Dan.
kind of.
Dan.
It's kind of offset.
Where? Where?
Blasphemous.
So
Blasphemous.
So the very, if the angle is
Where's
right in
the
line
waist?
with the neck pickup. That's where the angle is, and it's reversed. It's a reverse offset.
He is trying to tell you that the way that pickup is arranged is
No.
indicating the angle of the offsetedness, and that is wrong, Dan. Not offset.
No.
Not offset.
I'm gonna
Definitely
vote a
not.
no.
Two versus one.
vote
No.
for
Okay.
offset.
No. Definitely not offset. What is that?
That's a Yamaha SC or SC or SG.
Are they still being made?
That's what it
They're
is.
definitely not still being
Or
made.
3C
Are they
because
still
it has
being
three
made?
pickups.
Does that
Okay.
guitar have a waist?
No.
No waist.
So it
Therefore
has-
cannot be offset.
has no waist.
Also known as the flying banana. That is.
Bananas don't have
technical
waists
Yeah,
either,
that was
so
what they used to. Okay.
I think we answered that question. This is a good game.
Yeah, this is a fun game. Next one. Let's go.
Next.
Not an offset.
Dan.
Oof. Hold on.
How dare you?
How dare
You have gone against your definition. Like, obviously offset.
I'm gonna vote
I know what I
offset, but
said.
like,
By definition.
was it
I know what I
necessary?
said.
It's
and
Fender
still-
and it's offset.
it's acoustic, so it's not an offset.
Hey, man.
I don't believe.
That was
All
not
right.
part of your criteria.
Yeah, I don't believe.
Is that the only acoustic offset?
No, and we'll get into more.
Oh boy. It's definitely offset. I mean,
yeah,
there's no
I mean,
ifs, ands, or buts
it's
about it.
literally like the same exact shape.
Not an offset.
Say it and stare into,
Yeah,
you know,
it's not
all
an
of their
offset.
eyes. And
Not an offset.
okay,
The guitar even matches Dan's eyes.
wow,
He said no.
beautiful.
He said no to it.
Beautiful.
All right. It definitely is. Sorry, everyone.
is.
It's totally an offset.
But,
It can't be
I
factually
mean, who
inaccurate on the
needs it?
internet. It's an offset.
Yeah.
It's opinion.
Yeah.
That is fact. Offset.
Okay.
Okay, this is a tough angle to see.
I was going
It
to say
is.
the angle's upsetting me.
But this almost screams no. This angle's upsetting me.
This is upsetting.
This screams no.
Everything about it's upsetting.
It's
It's definitely not.
unfortunately like the Florida of instruments.
I don't like it. Take it off the screen.
Unpleasant.
Get it
Yeah,
out of here.
Unpleasant.
Get it off.
Not an offset.
Not an offset.
Yeah.
No.
Away.
Oh, look
Bye.
at it. It's just okay.
Thank you.
Next
Thanks.
one. Do it.
How many more of these you got?
Have
We have a few more.
found like one that we all agree on?
Oh, wait a
Ooh,
minute.
okay.
Okay.
That's the
There you
yeah.
go.
Okay.
Offset.
Okay.
Or not.
What
A
is that?
reverse
What do you call that?
offset, a
What's that?
tiny bit.
That's not the.
That's a guild.
Is that the
I forget the model. I'm terrible right now, but it's definitely a reverse offset.
Yeah.
Reverse offset. I was
Yeah.
going to say because it looks like
So-
it's pitched the other way.
so-
Yep.
Maybe it's a lefty offset. Could we call it
Being
that?
played righty.
Being played righty.
Okay.
How do you? Are you?
I'm in.
What
I'm in.
is that for? Is that a left-handed guitar?
That's
or
a right-handed guitar.
I'm thoroughly confused. That is offset though.
It is.
It is.
It is reverse offset, 10-degree angle as defined
Okay.
by Dan.
I think this is the only one that we've all agreed on.
Yeah, that's the only
All right.
offset. That is the
Yeah.
only true.
The only one you
That's
got.
the
Yeah.
truest offset.
Yeah.
Just that one.
Okay.
Close.
I'm on the fence here.
I'm gonna vote yes. I don't have my like measuring tool out, but I'm gonna vote yeah.
You know, I want to say yes. I
It
want to
looks
say
like a
yes
Mustang.
because it looks the part, but that waistline definitely ain't 10 degrees offset.
Not 10?
I used to own one, and I measured it. And
Oh,
And
that's
the
the
answer
most
is-
Dan
I gotta say
shit
no.
I've
I'm
ever
gonna say
heard.
no.
It's under.
It's under.
Definitely
I think
under.
it's under.
It's
yeah.
under.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
under, but like,
Maybe
is
I'm
there like a
just a-
transitory,
I'm a
like,
little
is there
more
like
lenient.
it's like almost offset, like it's
Yeah.
half set,
It's almost there.
It's
but you know what?
offset.
it's mid set.
It has this. It has the spirit of an.
It's a mid
offset.
set.
Mid.
It wants to
Mid.
be
Very
an-
mid.
It wants to be an
That's
offset.
so mid.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll go with mid set on that
Yeah.
one.
I like the like toilet bowl, like, you know,
It's got a
guard.
little like.
Yeah, style. It's nice. Is that it? No, there
Oh,
has
there's
to be more.
Oh, here we go.
So now we're getting into
Okay.
pretty controversial
We are. We're,
shapes here. They're getting pretty pointy, but round still.
Okay, I have a thought.
All right, please.
It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
'cause
too
that,
close.
That waistline, it's a very broad waistline,
Yeah.
but it's not offset.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not
All right.
Not offset. All right, guys.
okay,
All right. All right.
wow.
That's good.
Team.
That's good. We're coming along.
This is fun.
Because then I want to check out these things behind us.
Oh
Get
my
out of
God,
here.
dude.
No.
Change it.
Offset.
No.
Offset?
Do- Explain
Where?
yourself.
Where's-
Explain
where's the
yourself,
waist?
Dan.
Look for the waist.
Yeah, I
What?
don't. Yeah, I don't see
It's
one.
offset.
Where is it?
It's a
Point to me the waist on that.
so-
It's like a flounder where its waist is on the same side. You can't.
Offset.
It's both waistlines are on one side.
That's a hard pass.
That's
for
a
me.
hard no.
offset.
Not even set. It's just not.
Hold on,
It's not
can
set.
we-
That's not set at all.
Do we
I
have
mean-
to settle on like what a waist is? I think
probably-
we got to
we're-
go
yeah.
back.
We're
a few
too far
steps.
gone from this.
Okay,
We can't
okay,
go back.
okay.
We can't go back to the beginning.
No.
We can't restart the stream over. Definitely not set. What's the waist? Fine, we're gonna have to go into this. Define your
I'd say
waist.
the most narrow part of the guitar.
Go
Yeah,
back
then
to that
I-
screen.
Yeah, then I stand by my choice.
Yeah, go back to that. Where's the narrowest part of that body of that guitar, Dan?
I don't know.
In the back.
bottom.
I want it to be an offset.
Zoom in on the bottom, Emery.
Unfortunately, like the world just like does not
Note
care
how
what
the
we
bottom-
want.
I want to believe.
And that waistline is the same.
I want to believe.
Next.
That's like
no.
yeah,
No.
that-
need
Yeah,
Dan.
it's very
Next.
X Files of
Okay.
you, but
Yeah.
All right.
Too weird,
unfortunately.
Dan.
all
Sorry.
right.
That guitar have two waists?
Yeah, it probably.
I
could.
think it's still struggling with one.
It's.
Where?
Does it have one string on it
And what-
too?
Oh, okay. I do see what I think you're intending, but I just don't agree.
all right. All right.
Okay. Wow, bold.
I don't know
Bold
about that. All right.
choices.
You got another one for us, Emery?
I think we got a few more. All right. This is a
Okay, well, I already hate it.
offset.
That looks more like a sideways elephant
It looks like a mitten to me.
Elephant.
or a mitten.
Yeah.
Definitely not offset though.
I'm gonna say offset.
Wow. We've really gone off the reservation. All right.
I mean, a no.
How many? What else?
A no. And then let's play some more. Hear these
Okay.
ends.
Curious.
Oh.
Okay. This.
Yeah, like this was that like Martin thing.
Yeah, the SC13.
Okay, I haven't
Curious.
measured, but I would say it's like leaning towards offset territory.
That's strange, Dan.
I played one at NAMM and I feel like it's offset.
Okay.
It feels like an offset.
Nice.
I didn't
Yeah.
think I'd see a true acoustic offset.
Wait, so that's offset, but the acoustic.
But the Acoustasonic isn't.
Check.
All right. All right.
I think, Dan, your vote's been demoted to a half vote now. But you know, I'm going to say not. I want to say it's offset-ish. Not 10 degrees. You can't say that's
I
offset.
haven't measured, but
It might
I
not
think
be,
it's,
but it's close.
leaning towards that.
In
Like,
person, I think that angle's
It's
wrong.
on its way. I feel
It's
like
on its
I feel like we
way.
need an SC.
Oh.
Ooh. I said I wanted a like rock and roll guitar, right? Is this it?
That might be your offset.
Okay, I'm gonna vote yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but I'm going to say yes too. It is. Dan?
I think
He's gonna
it's
say-
probably offset.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah, it's
okay.
offset.
Wow.
Dan and I, one mind right now. Let's go.
I see a sit down guitar when I see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Okay, but like look at the like German carve edge. I mean, how lovely.
This is a double neck Mosrite.
Oof. Okay.
I
Unfortunately,
think when it was a single neck, it wanted to be. And when I think you threw the other one on there, it only looks offset because they had to smash the other neck on the body.
yeah, the like waist looks pretty even to me.
I think so.
Wow. That was a trick question. That was a
Okay.
trick. Fooled all of you, not offset.
Yeah.
Fooled you, internet.
Lovely card.
I can't
though.
wait to hear the comments, though. I hope there are comments that say we're all wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Huh.
ESP
Curious.
vibes.
Curious. I mean, it wants to be offset.
I think it's close.
It's
I think you're
close.
right, but
Those horns are offset.
I think it feels too shallow. Like the waist is pretty damn close.
What do you call it then?
I'm going to say not offset.
All right.
What do you call a not offset guitar that's offset? That's another stream.
It is
Almost set.
almost set.
Almost set.
I think the
Upset.
horn upset. I think the horns are what kind of throw you
Yeah,
off.
throw you off there. Well,
Yeah,
optical
yeah.
illusion.
The
Yeah.
Viper was the only one that our guitar department agreed on.
That is offset?
That is an
Oh my god.
Wow.
This is a
That'll
hot
show
button
us.
topic.
Okay.
not a Fender.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
You know.
Throw that back up on the screen. That's worth marveling at again. I think we're all off base here.
I don't know about the 10 degrees, though. If you go by the...
Look at the
Fender
waist. I mean, it's pretty close.
Pretty close. You know, the angles on it also make this deceiving. It's hard to see where that... It's hard to see.
I think if you didn't see the horns, you would be like, it almost wants to be, but it's like 9 degrees. Math, huh?
Math.
All right.
Oh, dear. Well, that's
Oh
some kind
my
of pick
God.
guard, though. Look at those
Yeah.
buttons. What is that?
I think it's a Tisco.
More guitars should have buttons
I like the
that.
pickups.
Right? Yeah.
No.
No. Denied. Not offset.
I-
Definitely not.
I'm going to agree with that, but
Ooh,
I do
should
want
we
it to be... I
have
want
called
it to
this
be an offset.
smash or pass.
Smash.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pass.
Pass for sure. Pass for sure.
Well, somebody said yes.
Ooh.
Oh, Ooh, challenge.
Why,
Yeah.
sir
Tell
or
them-
ma'am
yeah,
or
yeah.
they? Can you tell us why?
Yeah. Present yourself.
Right, that's all.
All right, that's
Okay,
all.
great.
So now we can go to the
Let's
physical.
play some more sounds.
Yeah, let's make some sounds. Let's pick up
Can I
some,
play
some
through?
guitars.
Yeah. But I just have to do this
Yeah,
because
play.
it sounds so. All right, everyone.
Do it while Dan picks
Hang
up
in
his
there.
second guitar.
Wait.
Ready? Let's maybe. What do you need?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. I think that these instruments like lend themselves to a style where you would like to hear information in the upper like range. I mean, I do understand that they're on like heavy stuff, but even then, I think you want upper like register info because these tend to not have like a lot of bass and they tend to be kind of sparkly and like jangly. And so I think anything that you're playing that has a lot of high-end info sounds really, really lovely. Really, really pretty.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's check some other guitars out.
Yeah.
See
Here,
what's
can you
happening.
like pick one?
Yeah, I'll pick one.
Sorry.
I'll pick one. We got here. I feel like this one has to come into the conversation.
I knew it. I knew it.
Offset or not? Is it offset?
Wow. Okay. Well, this is the first physical analysis I've had
Yeah.
to do since we've defined
What do you think?
this.
Offset or not?
And I'm gonna really get in it.
Oof.
But it, oh wait, so is the guitar straight like that, or when it?
No.
Oh no.
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 All right.
That's a different conversation.
All
A
right.
whole different. I mean, not offset.
Not
I think.
offset. Not.
Look at that weight.
Not
I mean,
Agreed.
You want to say it is.
Not
You
offset.
definitely want to say it is.
I think people get a bit like blinded by the shape
But look-
of the horns
But look,
and
that-
all of like the
that
bouts.
waistline's going
Yeah.
Straight
Look,
up and down.
I have never had a straighter waistline than
Which
this.
is similar. It's similar to like a Firebird.
Yeah.
In the same vein.
What do we think? See, this is okay. I have
Similar.
a feeling.
Offset.
All right.
I see it already.
Now see this one.
All right, crowd. Yeah. What do
Totally
we think?
offset.
It's almost like the lefty offset,
It's
Dan,
like it's
right?
waist. See, there's, and then up in here.
Maybe I should play that one.
the figuring on the top sheet like kind of
I should play that one. Come on.
Yeah, you should.
it makes it look like it's not offset, but I think it actually is.
I think it is
I
offset.
think it
Yeah.
is. Controversial call, but I think it is.
Now, like when we think of offset players, not like artists who are known, who are like typically buying offset guitars these days? Everyone? Anyone?
I'd say
No
like
one?
primarily the indie crowd.
Indie crowd.
Your
Yeah.
your
Why?
classic rock people sometimes would do it.
We talked about it a little bit last time about using
grunge
like
players.
using synth pedal, like using modular and stuff like that. I see a lot of people like, cause it's just a Swiss Army knife,
Yeah.
especially on like the Jaguars and Jazz Masters, and what a wild.
The shoegaze
Platform.
crowd, they
Yeah,
right.
definitely-
So, Dan, you like talked about this, I think yesterday, where like why did people in the like 90s get into this stuff? Because that's like a cool
Well,
thing. It's a
I-
cool.
having lived back then,
I think
purchased
all of us
guitars
were
at the
alive.
time.
Tell us, Dan.
the
Tell us
offsets
about
used to be
the
very
good old
cheap.
days.
When you would go in a pawn shop, you would see
Yeah, 'cause
an
people didn't
offset
like
hanging
'em.
on the wall, and they were very difficult to set up for people that weren't accustomed to dealing with them. So they were really cheap. You could get like a nice Jazz Master for $200, $300 right off the shelf, and tweak it, do whatever you need to do, and then it was out of necessity. Artists are notoriously poor. So
Not here.
Hot take.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's cool that an instrument that was only accessible, like because it was like cheap, became the sound of an entire era.
Yeah.
Like that's cool
That's
how
cool.
all of those things kind of influence each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Love it.
Let's keep the battle going.
A battle.
While you get ready to play that, we'll have one more debate, and then we'll look at two
Oh
other
yeah,
guitars, I guess,
this
right?
guy.
So we have
Dan's guitar.
an Ernie Ball Mariposa. Curious shape. Interesting guitar. Also for the indie crowd. Not offset.
Not offset.
Well, actually, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
say offset.
From
I think
There.
it's
It's
again a
slightly
shallow. It's
Yeah.
a shallow. Fingers.
Look at
We
those.
need a level.
yeah.
Damn.
We
All
should have
right,
brought.
next time.
We need a caliper and a
Yeah,
level, and
yeah.
we're doing this all wrong. Sorry,
I
everyone.
think it is almost,
Almost.
but it's pretty shallow.
yeah. I agree.
Mid set.
I mean, either way, it's
mid-set.
pretty. It's mid.
Yeah.
So mid.
so mid set.
It's
Nice guitar.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Come on.
I mean, it feels nice.
Like the neck binding. How classy is that?
Classy.
Classy.
Oozes class.
You can't get by without doing this one though. This is a fun one. There you go.
Okay. What do we think,
World. I'm gonna leave this one to the world.
guys? Why are okay? Never mind.
Come on, do it.
Nope.
Say it,
No.
ask it.
Nope.
It's
no,
offset.
No.
It's offset.
Offset.
I'm gonna say it's offset.
Where?
Dan, you've
Daniel.
been like you set a definition.
You
and
are
then
like
you
the
literally
chaos
went against it
agent.
on everything.
I can't find my glasses. That's-
Again, I think it's like not perfectly in line, but it's not offset enough.
I don't think I've seen a more perfect waistline ever than that.
okay.
Um,
Well,
I'm not gonna tell your wife that.
On that note, Dan, what do you have going on over there?
well, this is a PRS Vela. Offset. Is it offset?
Let's see. Let's see. By definition, I think for sure.
I think it's offset. I do think it's pretty subtle. Like, I think we're
That's a sneaky
close,
offset.
but it
That's-
looks offset to me.
I feel like that's the sneakiest
do
offset
you
of the
think,
bunch.
Dan?
I'll give it offset status by the technical definition.
But it doesn't have like the right bridges, right?
Right scaling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Right vibe.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
like it.
Well, let's hear what because that's plugged in now. Let's hear what
Yeah, let's hear what
an
that sounds
offset,
like.
not offset sounds like, and then we can compare it to the next Tuckahoe. Yeah, let's listen to some sounds.
Ooh, how pretty though. Is that the neck pickup or is that both?
That's the neck pickup.
Sounds lovely.
Looks
wow.
like it's a P90 style.
Yeah, it's nice.
No. I feel like this is a rock guitar. This is
Rock and roll.
You know, it's a good.
You wouldn't play it if it wasn't offset. I feel like you would melt if you tried to strum it and it wasn't offset. It's totally offset.
I'd play it.
If Dan plays it, it's offset.
I like it. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
All right.
Okay.
That's cool. That's a
gonna-
surprise. That was a surprise offset.
Let's see if we can get some. Dan, is this set for overdrive? A little bit? Is that too much?
Yeah, it's a little bit of overdrive.
Okay. Tiny bit. Okay, the problem with offsets for me is that they don't fit a female very well. Okay. We ended on this spy chord.
It's probably like a great way to end this thing off. I think we had a pretty. We went around the world of offsets for a minute.
The question is offset for you?
For me,
Ooh, love it.
I think you've convinced me that I need to become an offset person because I used to be more of a tiny guitar, but these are large and in charge, and I
Rule
feel like
follower
I've been missing
over
out.
here.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a whole new world, guys. Offsets. Hey, next time, next time, next time, next time. Yeah, this is which is the offset for you? There's so many options now. We defined them all. We told you what to look for in your offsets. What else? That's kind of it, right?
I would like to highlight two things.
Please do.
Two things. One of them is that the like Jazz Master that like Dan played earlier is in our like Chuck exclusive line.
65th anniversary.
Incredible.
Line.
Can't be
Sapphire
found
blue,
elsewhere.
Sapphire transparent blue. Check
Honestly,
it out. Super hot.
plays insane. They
Just
like
feels right.
feeling. Yeah, just
It's real.
excellent guitar. Excellent guitar. And I think we still have others, right?
Oh yeah.
Whole family.
Yep.
We have a whole
Yeah.
family.
And our 65th anniversary
Yeah.
T-shirt.
As part of that 65th anniversary
Yeah, shush.
limited edition round drop number 2 of the Decades Project.
And we
the
sell them in
1960s.
smaller sizes now too. Let's show the back.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Awesome. Designed by Falco Silva. Available in June only. The 60s. We are celebrating all month long as part of our 65th anniversary celebration. So check it out, chucklevins.com. Grab yours now while you can before it's gone forever until next month when we drop the 70s.
All right.
That's it. Until then, everyone, have a rockin' weekend. Have a great
Let's
time.
sign Offset.
On set.